Good morning. We are Concepción, Karen, Emelyn, and Verónica. We are with Leonardo Tovar. Leonardo, first of all, thank you for taking the time to do interview. How are you?
Sure, fine, thank you. Thank you everyone to have me. It's a pleasure.
Hi. We would like to know a little about you.
Sure, go ahead. I hope not so much, but for sure, go ahead.
Okay. What is your role?
My job is, well, I'm telecommunication engineer. I work for a telecommunication company, mainly on satellite communication. And currently I'm working in an area that deployed all the new projects coming from the area. So it's basically that I'm doing now. I have participated in many companies, but the current company that I'm working for is Elara Communication.
Okay, thank you. What has been your great achievement in your work?
The greatest achievement, it's hard to say it because, you know, I have more than 25 years working for different companies and I have participated in several projects. But I think that one of the most successful and greatest projects that I have participated is that those projects that work that has a social target, a social intention, like government. You know, when you're installing internet, satellite internet, to give connection to the schools in the very small and very far towns among the country, it's incredible when you arrive and you install the antenna and start to configure it all the people, all the children all around you asking, what are you doing? What is this for, etc. And once they have the connection by internet, they are very, very excited. It's a very great satisfaction to do that kind of job and activities.
Okay, thank you. What are your interests and hobbies?
My hobbies, I like to do several things. I like reading. I love philosophy. It's my favorite. It's into the books. Also, I like to do things in my home, on my house. You know, the windows, the plumb, the garden, to cleaning, the cars, you know. But also I really enjoy the music, basically the classical and heavy metal music. They are one of my favorite music, my favorite kind of music. And I like bike. And recently I'm practicing skating. I love skating. I started to retake recently, and I really enjoy to do that. It's fantastic.
Thank you. Do you practice any sport?
Yeah, bike basically, and recently skating. Skating is not a formal. I don't practice any sport in formal way. You know, I'm not part of a team or I'm not a specific routine, but I like to do it by myself. You know, wake up early and start the bike, go far, skating over there and coming back. That's sport, but not a formal sport.
Thank you. Have you visited other countries? Which are?
Yeah, I have visited at the beginning when I start to work. I used to work on field area, installing a lot of satellite antennas around the country. And eventually was necessary to install those antennas in other countries. I start to deploy a satellite network on the Caribbean, on Jamaica, on Trinidad and Tobago, on Puerto Rico, on Dominican Republic. And later that, I start to deploy some connections, some links of Central America, Panama, Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and that's it. And eventually, I really start to enjoy to travel to other countries, and I start to travel with my family, mainly to US, Canada, and a couple countries in Asia like Australia and New Zealand.
What caught your attention to visit those countries?
Many things, but I think one of the things that I really enjoyed when I visit other countries is the natural scenarios, the natural stuff that they have, like falls, like sea, like weather, like snow, like forest, some kind of weather and some kind of scenarios that you usually have no very close in Mexico. You have it, but no so close. And you know, when you are there, you really enjoy the nature. You enjoy to talk with other person, other cultures, other way to things, to do the things, to fix the problems that they have, the kind of situation that they're struggling every day, different meals, different coins, different currency, different prices. I don't know, it's another world. To travel another country is to travel another world, and you can discover a lot of very interesting things going there.
Well, this is a similar question. Which is the greatest place you've ever visited?
I really enjoy to visit other countries, but out to the cities. You know, when you go to a city, it's very interesting, but when you go out and walk around the forest or the mountain or the sea, you know very, very deep the country and the people, because you are not in a controlled situation, in a controlled environment. So when I visit New Zealand, we visit a very, very far beach called Coromandel. That beach is incredible because the sand area is very wide. The sea is very cold. But once you are in the sand, you start to dig not much, just a little bit, some inches, and you start to find that the water's coming from the bottom to the surface, but it's hot water. And eventually, if you start and you keep digging and digging and digging, you can make such a pool inside, right in the middle of the beach. And the pool is filled totally with hot water. And that is incredible because even it's such a boiled water. It's very, very hot. But you will really enjoy it because you are on the beach, you have the forest behind you, you have the sea in front of you, and you have the hot water in the middle of the water. It's incredible. It's incredible places. It's not very common to talk about it in the tourist propaganda, but it's an incredible place. It's one of the most incredible places that I have visited.
Thank you. Would you like to visit other countries in the future?
Yeah, for sure. I could say that is one of my biggest hobby, of my biggest interesting and enjoyable things to do in the world, in the life, to visit another countries. I have a pretty long list to do it, to visit. I hope to have enough time, enough health, enough money work to go there. But for sure, I have a pretty big list to the countries to visit.
Thank you. Changing the subject, how long have you spoken English?
I think I not spoke English very well, but I started to practice mainly for my job. When I was young, I really enjoyed, as I already told you, I really enjoyed for rock music. So when you enjoy a very interesting, a very intense song or album or rock band, you want to learn more. You want to learn what it say, what they are talking about, what is this song saying. So you start to reading the letter, start to translate word by word, but for sure is not useful. In order you cannot get the complete idea. You have just isolated words. So I start to learn a little bit on the school, sometimes on the job, but when it was necessary to go abroad and to talk with another person, not by hobby, by your job, because it's necessary, it's not optional. So it was very, very necessary to start to understand and to read more and to practice more and to ask more, and sometimes mess too much too. But eventually you start to go more flowing and reading and learning more and talk with other person, with my son-in-law, with my daughters, with my friends, chatting, sometimes by phone, sometimes like now by Zoom, and you start to develop the language. It's the only language that I have that I can speak apart Spanish, right?
Okay, next question. What do you like most about learning other language or languages?
Well, when you learn another language, other languages, it's basically you can connect with other people. When you can talk with old people, with a friend, even with unknown people in a restaurant, in a bar, and I start to talk on his language, it's fantastic because you understand better the ideas, you feel better the way to think, the way to feel, and it's for sure multiplied the vision that you have about the world, even about the other person.
Okay. Finally, what strategy do you recommend us to improve English language learning?
To practice, for sure, like everything in the world, everything in the life, to practice. You need to start with the easy, going from the general to the particular. When you're talking or reading or listening an English book or sentence or idea or speech, you need to understand mainly first what is the main item, what is the main idea that president or that journalist want to say, and eventually little by little start to understand a little sentence, little word, for sure to improve your vocabulary every day. If you found a word that you cannot recognize, that you cannot understand, try to go to the dictionary to ask for it and try to understand it and try to use it in the future sentence when you are talking. But in general, a good tip is to understand from the general to the particular and practice and practice and practice. In my case, it's very hard to understand the other language. The listening is pretty hard for me. Not the speaking, but the listening sometimes is pretty hard for me. So what I'm trying to do is to practice the listening, It's the idea, like skating, like running, like cooking, like traveling, whatever. Practicing is the major key to improve it.
Good. Thank you very much for your time and recommendations, Leonardo.
Sure. Anytime. Let me know.
Thank you.
Sure. See you soon.
Thank you for your time.
Sure. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. See you later. Bye-bye.